This video is not going to be short, so yeah. Apologize for my shower hair, I just got back from the gym. I know I look like a mess, but it's almost 1 a.m. and I figured I might as well do this video in my natural state. But I wanted to do a video about communities and schools and how they often fail kids when it comes to talking about bullying and handling bullying experiences that they may have to endure. And of course, watching the second season of 13 Reasons Why has also prompted some thoughts regarding high school. Before I go any further, I just wanted to let you know that this video will be talking about depression, suicide, and bullying experiences, so please keep that in mind. If it is triggering for you, please click away. Also, I've been watching Season 2 of 13 Reasons Why, and I find the show to be very thought-provoking because it could have easily been my high school experience. In fact, many of the experiences told in this show are pretty equivalent to some of the bullying experiences I went through. And I know this show gets a lot of criticism from people and saying that, you know, that over-glorifies and glamorizes suicide and bullying, but I think many people who say that are the ones who often overlook the fact that bullying and suicide are very real and that a lot of people experience these difficult things. And I think the storytelling within the show definitely captures a lot of what high school is like in rural America, and these are stories that need to be told, and I think that it warrants some examination and conversation. But the reason why I'm ultimately doing this video is recently there's a local celebrity here who got drafted into the NFL, which is a really cool feat. Like, I think it's amazing that somebody from my high school got drafted into the NFL, but recently he visited my local high school and met with students, and in an interview he said that he is proud of the high school that he went to, and that kind of made me ask myself, am I proud of the high school that I went to? And the truth is, I'm not. I did have some good experiences in high school. I had band, of course. I had a creative writing class that I loved. I had some good friends who stuck by me. But ultimately, I will say that high school was an utter hell for me. And I think that a lot of the bullying experiences that I went through triggered a lot of my depression. And it still kind of lingers to this day. When you're bullied for a long period of time, even for a short period of time, that sticks with you. I've had therapy, counseling, and I have learned how to talk myself through thoughts, but it still sticks with me. And I came to the conclusion that I'm not proud of the high school that I went to, and sometimes not proud of my community, because I feel as though my community in high school failed me and failed many other people. I can tell you that countless times I tried getting help for being bullied, and I was always told, well, you are blowing things out of proportion. What are you doing to provoke the bully or bullies? Are you really gay? Maybe you shouldn't be. I literally was told that once. And I have a bunch of other experiences that I do talk about in my Bullying, My Story of Survival series. Go watch that if you have not yet, if you want to. But I often find that rural communities and high schools fail students when it comes to bullying because they don't want the stories or the experiences shared to tarnish the identities of the schools or the communities. I know, like, a dear friend of mine a few years back went through a pretty large bullying experience. It went viral. I even made a video talking about it, which gained some virality, and both her and I were told multiple times that we were just wanting attention, that the school isn't as bad as it seems, that it's not, that we're just over-dramatizing everything. And when I hear that from people, I want to ask them, well, tell that to the kids who are probably experiencing what I experienced. Being thrown into lockers, being insulted, humiliated, and pushed around in locker rooms, being the center of attention at the lunch table, have food thrown at you, have people ask, well, is he gay? Have people play pranks. For those people who want to stay in denial, I really want you to ask that question. How would you feel if you were in the shoes of those kids who had no voice because people were continually telling them that it's all in their head, or that they're over-dramatizing things? And I can honestly tell you that most of my bullying experiences were initiated by football players, people in the sports. And keep in mind, not everybody who plays sports, they're not all bullies, there are very good people out there. But a lot of my experiences did circulate around that. And often, if I ever would try to get help against people like those, the people I would go to would often side with the player because, well, they represent the school. They are what brings in revenue. They are the team that the school roots for, and it makes me sad to say, but I think sports and competition really hampers students who are being bullied, because nobody wants to address or even believe that someone at the school or someone representing the school could do something hurtful to someone else. But they can. And over the years, I mean, my community has kind of adopted that same mentality. I come from a small town in northern Michigan. It's a great place. There are great people here, but the collective mentality here often looks away when bad things happen, and I think that needs to stop. I've heard over the years that, the high schools try to implement programs, and I think that's great. But I really think that the ultimate problem behind the bullying is the community mentality. People in the community teach others that it's okay to discriminate, it's okay to ostracize people who are different, and that creates that toxic environment that kids learn, they absorb this, and then they treat other people that way as well. So it's not just the school, it's the community too. And I think it needs to be addressed, it needs to be fixed. And of course, I know if anybody from my community probably watched this, which they probably won't, because because most of my stuff is just not really acknowledged here, but people would say that I'm probably just talking about this for attention, and that's okay. I mean, the truth is, in a way, I'm trying to get some form of attention when it comes to drawing awareness to the issue, and I can only do that through sharing my own story, but people will do anything to deflect or to deny, because it's easier to do that than acknowledge atrocities that happen, or to acknowledge people who are going through a lot of turmoil. So I guess my question for small communities and schools across America is, when will we open our eyes? When will we start acknowledging that bullying is a serious issue? And when will we start helping those who are in need? But also, when will we start teaching acceptance?